She was shattered when her fiancé humiliated her in front of everyone, walking away as if she meant nothing. Broken and alone, she never expected fate to intervene. But then she met him, a stranger with haunting eyes and a quiet intensity. He seemed ordinary, just another man passing by, until the truth unraveled. Because the man she thought was just a simple nobody, was hiding a secret so powerful, so life-altering, that it would leave her breathless. And when she finally discovered who he really was, it was already too late to turn back. The grand engagement hall is alive with soft classical music, glittering chandeliers, and the scent of fresh roses. Hundreds of guests in designer outfits chatter excitedly, their eyes occasionally drifting toward the couple at the center of it all, Arya and Adrian. Arya, 24, kind-hearted, from a modest background, adjusts the delicate engagement ring on her finger, her heart fluttering. Tonight is supposed to be the happiest night of her life. But something feels off. Adrian, 30, arrogant, from an elite business family, stands beside her, his expression unreadable. The man she loves, the man who once promised her forever, suddenly feels like a stranger.
Then
Adrian clears his throat, his voice cutting through the room. Adrian, coldly, I can't do this. The room falls silent. A pin drop could be heard. Arya blinks, not understanding. Arya, softly, confused what? Adrian, louder, smirking this was a mistake. I won't marry a poor girl like you. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Arya's breath catches in her throat. Her mother grips her father's arm, her face pale with shame. The whispers begin, sharp and cruel. Guest, whispering, did he just reject her? Guest too, in front of everyone? How humiliating. Arya's hands tremble as she looks up at Adrian, praying this is some cruel joke. But his smirk only deepens. Adrian, mockingly, you really thought you were good enough for me? I was just having fun. But forever? With someone like you? Don't be ridiculous. Tears sting her eyes, but she refuses to let them fall. Not here. Not in front of all these people who are enjoying her humiliation. Adrian removes the ring from her finger, carelessly tossing it onto the table. Adrian, laughing, consider this my last gift to you, freedom. With that, he turns and walks away. Just like that. As if she never mattered. Arya's legs feel weak. The weight of 100 judgmental stares presses down on her. But as her vision blurs, she suddenly feels it. A pair of eyes watching her, not with pity, not with amusement, but something else. Something unreadable. She lifts her gaze, and meets his. Noah, 28, intense, mysterious, seemingly poor, stands near the entrance, partially hidden in the shadows. His dark eyes lock onto hers, piercing through the sea of people as if he sees right into her soul. He doesn't speak. He doesn't move. But something in his gaze sends a shiver down her spine. And then, just as quickly as she notices him, he's gone. Disappearing into the night like a ghost. Arya doesn't know it yet, but tonight isn't the end of her story. It's only the beginning. Because fate isn't done with her. And the man who just watched her break is about to turn her world upside down. Days later, Arya walks through a quiet street, lost in thought. The weight of humiliation still lingers, her heart heavy with betrayal. The once bright dreams of love and security have shattered, leaving her with nothing but an empty ring finger and whispered rumors following her wherever she goes. A sudden clap of thunder echoes across the sky. Rain begins to pour, soaking the streets in an instant. Arya shivers, hugging her arms. She should have brought an umbrella. She should have stayed home. But she couldn't stand the suffocating silence of her house any longer. She turns a corner, her heels clicking against the wet pavement, when a black umbrella appears over her head. She freezes. Someone is standing beside her. She slowly looks up, and her breath catches in her throat. It's him. Noah, the mysterious man from the engagement hall, stands beside her, holding the umbrella over both of them. His dark eyes are unreadable, intense, as they meet hers. Raindrops trickle down his sharp jawline, but he doesn't seem to care. Noah, calmly, it's a bad night to be walking alone. Arya's pulse quickens. There's something unsettling about him, not in a dangerous way, but in a way that makes her feel exposed, as if he can see straight into her soul. Arya, softly, wary, who are you? Noah doesn't answer right away. Instead, he watches her for a moment, as if weighing his words. Noah, finally, just someone who knows what it's like to be abandoned. Arya's throat tightens. His voice holds a quiet pain, one she recognizes all too well. But before she can respond, a loud screech breaks the moment. A luxury black sports car pulls up beside them. Arya tenses as the driver's window rolls down, revealing Adrian. His expression twists with annoyance and something darker as he stares at the scene before him. Adrian, mocking, so, this is what you've been reduced to? Arya clenches her fists. She doesn't have the energy to deal with him. But before she can say anything, Noah steps forward slightly, positioning himself between her and Adrian, silent but firm. The tension in the air thickens. Adrian, scoffing, to Noah, I don't know who you are, but trust me, you don't want to get involved with her. She's a nobody. For a split second, Noah's jaw clenches, his eyes darkening, but then he smirks. It's slow, calculated, as if Adrian just said something amusing. Noah, calmly, is that so? Arya's breath catches. There's something in Noah's tone, something dangerous, like a silent warning. Adrian, clearly unimpressed, scoffs and revs his engine. Adrian, enjoy your charity case, then. With that, he speeds off into the night, leaving only the scent of expensive cologne and exhaust fumes behind. Arya exhales sharply, her body still tense. But when she looks at Noah, he's already staring at her, this time, with something else in his eyes. Something unreadable. As if he knows something she doesn't. Noah, softly, you deserve better. Before she can respond, he steps back, tilting the umbrella slightly so she's still covered, but he isn't. The rain begins to drench him. Arya, frowning, you'll get wet. Noah, smirking slightly, I don't mind. But you should go home. I have a feeling we'll be seeing each other again soon. And with that, he turns and walks away into the rain, disappearing just as mysteriously as he appeared. Arya stands there, gripping the handle of the umbrella he placed in her hands. Her heart pounds with questions. Who is he? And why does it feel like this is only the beginning? Arya still standing on the rainy street, gripping the umbrella Noah left in her hands. The rain has slowed, but inside her, a storm still brews. Arya, muttering to herself, who just walks away after saying something so dramatic? She exhales sharply, shaking her head, her mind replaying the scene, Noah shielding her from the rain, stepping between her and Adrian like some silent protector. The way his gaze felt like it could see straight through her. Who was he? And why did it feel like he knew her pain? Her stomach growls loudly, betraying her thoughts. Arya, grumbling, great. Heartbreak and hunger. A perfect combination. She looks around, realizing she's right in front of a small, cozy 24-hour cafe. The warm glow from inside looks inviting, and the scent of fresh coffee wafts through the air. With a sigh, she pushes open the door, the bell jingling softly. She shakes off the raindrops from her coat and steps inside, only to stop dead in her tracks. Noah is sitting at a corner table. Her eyes widen. He's casually sipping a cup of coffee, his dark hair still damp from the rain. He looks completely unbothered, as if he hadn't just walked away moments ago like some mysterious movie character. Noah glances up, notices her, and smirks. Noah, raising an eyebrow, are you following me? Arya, crossing her arms, excuse me? She marches up to his table, ignoring the amused glances from a few late-night customers. Arya, you're the one who walked away all dramatically and now you're just sitting here drinking coffee? Noah calmly sets his cup down. Would you rather I stand in the rain and wait for lightning to strike me? Arya, huffing, that's not what I meant. She plops down in the chair across from him, frustrated but also intrigued. Noah watches her, his expression unreadable but slightly amused. Noah, you seem upset. Arya, sarcastic, gee, I wonder why. Maybe because my engagement was publicly destroyed, I was humiliated in front of hundreds of people, and now some mysterious guy with a weird habit of disappearing into the night keeps showing up. Noah chuckles, the sound low and unexpected. It throws her off for a second. Noah, all right, fair point. A waitress approaches, placing a cup of steaming coffee in front of Arya. Waitress, smiling, here you go. Your boyfriend already ordered it for you. Arya nearly chokes on air. She turns to Noah, eyes wide. Arya, whisper, yelling, you ordered for me. Noah, calmly sipping his coffee, you looked cold. And heartbroken. And hungry. Seemed like the right thing to do. Arya stares at him, torn between being flustered and slightly impressed. Who even was this guy? She takes a careful sip of the coffee, and to her absolute horror, it's perfect. The exact way she likes it. Arya, narrowing her eyes, how did you know? Noah, smirking, lucky guess. A long silence. Arya watches him, and for the first time, she notices something different. Under the confidence, the smirks, the teasing, there's something else in his eyes. Something deeper. But before she can place it, Noah leans forward slightly, his voice lowering. Noah, tell me, Arya, if you could rewrite the past, would you? His question catches her off guard. She swallows hard, suddenly feeling like she's standing at the edge of something big, something life-changing. Arya, softly, what do you mean? Noah holds her gaze for a second longer, then leans back, a ghost of a smile playing on his lips. Noah, nothing. Just a thought. But deep down, Arya knows, it's not just a thought. It's a warning. Or maybe, a promise. Scene opens in the same cozy cafe. The air between Arya and Noah is thick with unspoken words. Arya stirs her coffee absent-mindedly, her mind racing. There's something about Noah, something that both unsettles her and pulls her in. Arya, scoffing slightly, you really have a habit of showing up at strange moments, don't you? Noah, grinning, or maybe you have a habit of being where I am. Arya rolls her eyes but can't stop the small smile tugging at her lips. For the first time in weeks, she doesn't feel completely broken. Arya, softly, after a pause, why are you being so nice to me? You don't even know me. Noah's expression shifts, just for a second. A flicker of something deep, something unreadable. But then it's gone. Noah, maybe because I know what it's like to be left behind. To feel like you weren't enough for someone who was supposed to love you. Arya swallows hard. That hits too close to home. For a moment, they just sit there, the hum of the cafe filling the silence. Then, Noah leans forward slightly, his voice low and calm. Noah, you don't need someone like Adrian. You deserve someone who chooses you. Every single time. Arya lets out a shaky breath. The sincerity in his voice catches her off guard. Arya, whispering, and where do I find someone like that? Noah watches her for a long moment before he speaks. Noah, right here. Arya's heart skips a beat. Her fingers tighten around her coffee cup as she processes his words. Arya, nervous chuckle, you can't be serious. Noah, completely serious, I've never been more serious in my life. The world seems to slow. The cafe noise fades into the background. Arya blinks, searching his face for any sign of a joke. But there's none. Just quiet certainty. Arya, you barely know me. Noah, I know you don't deserve what happened to you. I know you need someone who won't walk away just because you don't have a billionaire's last name. And I know. I'd rather be the man standing beside you than the man watching from the shadows. Arya exhales, overwhelmed. This isn't a fairy tale. He's not a rich prince sweeping her off her feet. He's just Noah. A simple man. A kind man. And maybe that's all she really needs. She looks down at her hands, then back up at him. He's watching her carefully, like he won't push, but he also won't take back his words. Arya, softly, after a long pause, okay. Noah's lips curve into the smallest smile, relief flashing in his dark eyes. But before he can say anything, Arya, holding up a finger, mock serious, but if you turn out to be secretly married or running from the mafia, I'm out. Noah chuckles, shaking his head. Noah, playfully, no secret wife. No mafia ties. Just me. Arya sighs dramatically, as if weighing her options. Arya, fine. But if you snore, I'm renegotiating. Noah laughs, and for the first time in a long time, Arya feels light. Maybe, just maybe, fate isn't done surprising her yet. The grand hall is decorated beautifully, but the atmosphere? That's another story. Arya stands at the center, dressed in a simple but elegant gown, her hands clasped together as whispers ripple through the crowd. She's really marrying that poor guy. Did she really fall this low after Adrian dumped her? I heard he doesn't even own a car. How embarrassing. Arya clenches her jaw, pretending she can't hear them. But she can. Every word. Every laugh. And worst of all, Adrian is here, leaning against the bar, smirking like this is the most entertaining thing he's ever seen. Adrian, mocking Arya, I have to say, this is shocking. From me to, well, him. He gestures toward Noah, who stands calmly beside Arya, adjusting the cuff of his plain white shirt. Unlike Adrian, he's not in an expensive suit. He doesn't need one. But the crowd sees him as nothing more than a nobody. Adrian, smirking, tell me, does he even have enough to buy you a proper ring? Or did you have to go for those candy rings from the dollar store? The crowd bursts into soft laughter, murmuring in agreement. Arya's fingers tighten into a fist, her heart pounding. The humiliation she felt on the day Adrian rejected her, it's back. But before she can respond, Noah steps forward. Noah, calmly, tilting his head, you're right, Adrian. The room goes silent. Arya's breath catches. Noah, sighing dramatically, I don't have a diamond ring worth millions. I don't have a sports car waiting outside. And I definitely don't have the ability to throw money around just to impress people who don't matter. Adrian smirks, nodding, as if he's won. But then, Noah does something unexpected. He grins. Not just any grin. A slow, dangerous grin. Noah, lowering his voice slightly, but loud enough for the crowd to hear, but what I do have is Arya. The smirk on Adrian's face falters slightly. The crowd murmurs, sensing the shift in the air. Noah, mocking but calm, and remind me, Adrian, didn't you throw her away like she was worthless? Didn't you humiliate her in front of hundreds of people? Adrian stiffens, his jaw tightening. The crowd that was laughing just moments ago is now watching with keen interest. Noah, smirking, stepping even closer, and yet, here you are, standing at her engagement, watching as she chooses me. Arya stares at Noah, something warm and electric rushing through her veins. The confidence in his voice, the way he's owning the room without trying. Who even is he? The laughter. Gone. The whispers. Gone. Even Adrian seems at a loss for words. Then, Noah turns to Arya, his eyes softening as he reaches for her hand. Noah, gently, teasing, I know I'm not a billionaire, sweetheart. But I promise I'll keep you happy. Even if that means buying you candy rings. A stunned silence. And then, Arya bursts into laughter. Genuine, unfiltered laughter. The first real one in months. The tension shatters, and suddenly, Noah is laughing too, shaking his head as if the whole situation is ridiculous. Arya, grinning, squeezing his hand, you're lucky I like candy rings. The crowd watches in stunned silence as Arya and Noah share a moment that no amount of money can buy. And for the first time, Adrian isn't smirking. He's just watching. A flicker of something in his eyes. Regret. Noah turns to the officiant, nodding. Noah, grinning, shall we continue? And as the ceremony moves forward, Arya doesn't hear the whispers anymore. She doesn't see the judgmental glances. She only sees one thing, Noah. The man who stood by her side when no one else did. And for the first time, she realizes, maybe, just maybe, she's the luckiest person in the room. The engagement ceremony is almost over. Arya stands beside Noah, still reeling from how effortlessly he silenced Adrian and the mocking crowd. The tension has melted into something unexpected. Curiosity. People now look at Noah differently, as if trying to figure him out. But Arya, she's just happy. For the first time in a long time, she feels chosen. Not for her wealth, not for her status, just for being herself. Then, Noah clears his throat, stepping forward. His voice is calm, but there's something in his eyes, something unreadable. Noah, before we continue, I have a small surprise. The guests exchange curious glances. Adrian, still standing near the bar, narrows his eyes suspiciously. Even Arya looks at Noah with a raised brow. "Arya," playfully Noah, "if you bought me another candy ring, I swear." Noah chuckles, shaking his head. Then, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out an envelope. He hands it to Arya, his expression soft yet unreadable. "Noah, gently open it." Arya hesitates, her fingers trembling slightly as she takes the envelope. The room is silent. Every single guest is watching, their curiosity now at its peak. Even Adrian shifts uncomfortably, sensing something big. Arya slowly pulls out the papers inside. Her eyes scan the words, and then, she freezes. Her heart pounds. Her breath catches in her throat. She blinks, once, twice. Her fingers grip the paper tighter, as if making sure she isn't imagining things. Arya, whispering, stunned Noah, "What is this?" Noah smiles, but it's not the teasing, playful one he usually wears. This one is warm. Real. "Noah, it's proof that fate works in funny ways, sweetheart." The guests lean forward, desperate to know what's written on that paper. And then, someone from the crowd suddenly gasps. "Wait, that's..." Whispers spread like wildfire. Murmurs of disbelief, shock, and even jealousy. "No way. Is this real? Is this a joke? But he's... And then, Adrian finally snatches a paper from someone near him. His eyes scan the words. And for the first time since the night began, he pales. He stares at Noah, his jaw clenched so tight it looks like it might snap. Adrian, gritting his teeth, whispering in disbelief, "You're Noah Carter?" gasps. Realization dawns. The name Noah Carter. The name that had been whispered in exclusive business circles. The name that belonged to a man who had quietly bought out companies, shut down rivals, and built an empire, all without ever stepping into the public eye. The guests now look at Noah with awe, respect, even fear. Because Noah Carter wasn't just some poor man. He was a billionaire, a self-made one, and richer than Adrian could ever dream of becoming. Arya's hands shake as she stares at him. Her voice is barely a whisper. "Arya, you lied to me?" Noah sighs, stepping closer. His hands gently take hers, grounding her. "Noah, softly no. I just didn't tell you everything. Because I wanted you to choose me, not my wealth, not my power, just me." Tears prick at Arya's eyes. She looks at him, really looks at him. And suddenly, everything clicks into place. The quiet confidence. The way he never flinched at insults. The way he never seemed desperate to prove himself. Because he never had to. And he had let her believe he was poor. Because he wanted her to love him for who he was. Her lips tremble, but then, she smiles. A soft, beautiful, understanding smile. "Arya," whispering, "emotional, I would have chosen you anyway, Noah." Noah's eyes darken with emotion. And then, right there, in front of everyone, he pulls her into a slow, deep kiss. The kind of kiss that makes time stop. The kind of kiss that tells a story of fate, love, and choices. The guests, speechless. Some of them stare in regret, knowing they had mocked Arya for choosing Noah. Others glance at Adrian, who looks like he's about to explode with rage and humiliation. And as for Arya, she knows one thing for sure. She won. Not because of Noah's wealth, but because she had chosen the right man. The one who had always seen her worth, even when others didn't. As the applause erupts, as Noah holds her hand like she's the most precious thing in the world, she smiles to herself. Because fate had played its cards. And she had just won the jackpot.